fueler, 12 years of experience in building communities and influencer types. She started her career with Roposo when it was a 15 people organization and got a feeler of community building as she interviewed and featured regular women on Roposo. And she got and then she went on to work with brands such as Slime Road and Fashion and you followed by 4 year long stint building the community for LBB India. It was during her pregnancy in 2021 when she started consulting for brands to build their communities. Some of these brands are Kidstoppers, Cool Kanya, Herky, Dabble Pearlet, Azza, Big Good, Win Live, Happiness, and more. She started Brandfailure along with her partners in October 2023 and curate high-end experiences for a niche community for creators at multiple cool venues in Delhi NCR. As part of Brandfailure's portfolio, they have curated events for brands such as Raw, Paparazzi, Pilgrim, Nova, Shuffling, John Diesel's Roulette Premium Whiskey. And she's her way to scale these events to at least 16 each month. Welcome, Megha.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
You. Okay.
Welcome, Megha.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for joining. I'm Megha, and you've already got a decent intro to what I have been up to. And today, what we're going to do is that we're going to cover aspects of community building. And I'll also take you through my career a little more in detail so far on what makes me viable to come and even speak to you on community building through the course of this particular presentation. So, if all's good, I'm going to begin then.
Sure.
Yes,
Okay,
Megha, you can.
awesome. Okay, so ladies, the conversation that we are having today is the power of community, building, growing, retaining, and monetizing communities. This is what we are going to cover in a nutshell on this particular meet. And since I am through and through a community builder, I would highly encourage that everybody participates. Wherever you have questions, please ask me because this is a very niche topic. And it's while it will be very understandable through the course of the presentation, it'll be nice if you can come out with your own questions that I can answer so that you go with complete clarity on this. The agenda for today is very simple. We are going to talk about how to identify your champion slash community, your community, the person representing your community, people on your community. How do you identify those people? How to build your champion tribe. Now you've identified what your community member looks like. Now, how do you get more and more of such people together? A look at our existing tribe. We're going to look at once we have a certain set of people together, what direction is our community taking? A lot of times when you're community builders, since we're talking people and people coming together, there are a lot of aspects that you learn about the direction that your business will take or the direction your community will take basis the personalities that you're managing to attract. A lot of times you think that there's going to be a certain, you'll kind of figure out that this is the kind of community builder that I want on my platform, but eventually you will realize, no, actually, this is not what's working. This persona works better while you're building the community. So that it's important to kind of take a step back to just process and wrap your head around your communities and their personas before you go all out on building your community. Where is the hassle? Now, when it's about communities, the biggest hassle is retaining your member. Aside from that, everything is solvable. So we're going to talk about how to retain, what it requires, how you ensure that you have the people now. What do you do to make sure that they stay with you they stay with you indefinitely? That is what we're going to also discuss. Tackling the hassle. How do you retain? The point that I want to make here is it's very simple that your way to retain your member is to create incentives. Now, how do you do that? That's another thing that we'll discuss. And how do you enter relevant tribes? Now, I genuinely believe, and I have worked a lot in building my own business, or I've worked as a freelancer for a really long time. The best way to actually scale a community is not that you sit down and manually keep onboarding people. The best way to do that is that after a certain point, you should allow your community to attract their crowd. their tribes. And that way, you will go into an auto mode where you will only work on retaining them via incentives while your community is going to keep bringing more and more people into your community. So, how do you do that? That's also a little bit that we're going to discuss today. Before we get to any of this, I'm going to just tell you a little bit about myself. I am actually a design student. I passed out from NIFT Mumbai in 2012, and I did my master's in design research from NIFT Mumbai. And that is when I joined Roposo. Now, Roposo at that point was just a 10, 15 people organization, and I was the first person to come in at Roposo for their content marketing. And it was a fashion recommendations platform there at that point, which is why after NIFT I joined Roposo because I wanted to work in fashion. Roposo is where while it started with content, I decided if it has to be content, why aren't we featuring regular women? Like everybody was at that point featuring celebrities and wanted like a big face to represent them. And I also was very keen on that, which is why we did end up interviewing quite a few women. For example, we interviewed people like Neha Kakkad, Neeti Mohan. At that point, since influencer marketing hadn't really picked up, it was very easy to get an interview with them free of cost. We were literally just messaging them on Facebook. Whoever would reply to us, we would feature them. However, we also realized that it's not necessary that our celebrity has to be a known person. It could be just a random woman who's very, very well dressed, who's walking around in Cyber Hub and is attracting eyes because her fashion is very remarkable. This is where I for the first time started getting featuring regular women. So what we would do is that we would go to the market or we would go to Cyber Hub, and my founder Mayank Dhangadia, would drive me. He would go with me, and then we would just run. He would just hide somewhere while I would run around and get regular women, identify regular women whom I could interview. We started interviewing them and featuring them, and we realized the power of regular people when they get a platform is insane because their friends, their family, they were so excited to see that their daughter had been featured on the platform more than Neha Kakkad, because Neha Kakkad, anyway, everyone's used to seeing her interviews. It's no big deal. But for a regular person to get a platform, that's when the idea of community first struck me that we should work in this direction because there is a lot of power in it. I worked with Roposo for about a year and a half, and that's when I realized while everything that I'm doing is very intuitive, and I myself am very intuitive as a person, I thought I'm going to solidify everything by working in a bigger organization where I'll understand systems and processes. I joined Fashion in You as their assistant manager in social media. And there, I spent about a year handling their social media and identifying numbers and identifying data and trends. But within a year, Fashion and You was bankrupt, and there was this mass firing drive where I was the only one left with a designer. And that's when I decided, okay, I have to look for a job, get someplace else. I was always very, very careful with finding jobs. I wanted to ensure that the role that is being offered to me and the place that I'm working is going to work. But I'd also realized that big organizations were possibly not for me because I was more excited by the thrill of the chase, building something from scratch rather than being served everything on a platter and then figuring out process. I felt that approval cycles were very delayed in your bigger organization. That did not excite me. It just killed the buzz. So after Fashion and You, I got an offer from Limeroad to handle their influencer marketing. This Limeroad at that point was at its peak. This was 2015 when I joined Limeroad, and it had already secured four fundings, one after the other. It was a young team. Everyone was very excited. I joined as their influencer marketing manager, and then I don't know what happened, but within 3 months, we did a really cool job there. We did a lot of work there. I feel that they saw some potential, which is why they got me also into brand alliances. So if you would look at my profile, how it is traveled through genres is that I started off with fashion content, went into influencer marketing and community marketing, and then also into brand alliances. Initially, I was very confused at why am I doing so many things. Luckily, all of these things are very related to each other. And all of this is what has helped me actually come out on my own because I've worked everything. So now I can apply all of my knowledge into my own business. After Limeroad is when I hit the bucket with LBB. Now, LBB was one organization everyone wanted to join. They had achieved that, trending magazine status where you want to know what is cool in your city, you go on the LBB app. They'll tell you which is the best place. There's nothing there that will be featured that's got no good that doesn't have a good reputation. So when I joined LBB as their community lead, I spent 4 years there. It was until COVID that I was there. When COVID hit is when I decided to move out as well, because this particular platform was recommendations for the coolest places in your city. It was operational in 8 cities. And COVID was the opposite of that, which is that everything is shut. So 6 months, I just felt like I've tasted blood, but now I'm not enjoying what I'm doing, because again, that limbo doesn't work for me where there is no work. So that's when I joined Mom and Paw as their head of brand. This was via Titan Capital. And Titan Capital had just started their venture capital called Mom and Paw, which was a pet wellness brand. And they wanted to base their pet brand on communities. So I joined Mom and Paw as their brand head, but I didn't spend a lot of time there because while just 8 months into the system, I found out that I was pregnant. And that's when I moved out of here. A startup was definitely not the right place for me to be at during my pregnancy. This very high stress environment. But once I left from Mom and Paw, I started consulting. I said, okay, while I'm sitting at home, that's great, but let me just try consulting until at least my child is 6 months old, and then I will go back to a full-time role. This 1.5 year, right, where I started consulting and started working with brands on freelance basis, was the eye opener for me that no, there is no going back. There will never be a time where I'll work for anybody else. I realized that I was making more money as a consultant than I was making at a full time role. I was spending more time with my family and friends than I was with in a full time role. I was dedicating about 4 hours a day in doing this. And that's when I decided the way to go is running my own business. That's how I eventually found my partners. They reached out to me on LinkedIn and said, we're starting something. It's an influencer marketing platform. I said, no, if you want me to join you, this will not be an influencer marketing platform. This will be a community platform. And that's how Brand Fueler came into the being. We started Brand Fueler 2023 October, and by now we have already our portfolio is basically consistent of some of the best homegrown brands in India. For example, we already have Epigamia that's worked with us. Raw Pressery has worked with us. Wingreens has worked with us. We've done something with Two Brother Organic Farms, Natureland Organics. We're right now we've just signed a 4 event deal with this brand called Farm Art, which is Two Brothers' biggest competitor, and we've managed to pull off some 30 35 events already with a very very vibrant community. So now this is about me. Let me now get started with how we work communities. Identifying your champion, and we'll start with knowing your community. But before that, I want to quickly make you understand what a community is. So when I just Googled community, because while we are community builders, I wanted to see what the official definition of a community is. The Googled answer is actually what it is. It is a group of people who have something in common. There is no other complication here. It is a group of people that has something in common, and that is why they connect with each other. Now, for example, if we ourselves, each one of us, are in multiple communities without realizing. If there is a family WhatsApp group, that is also a community where what is common in that group for every member is that they are in the same family, right? Similarly, there'll be when my daughter was born, I joined a lot of new mom groups. So those are small communities that all of them have one thing in common, that they have young children. I am a part of a lot of pet animal protection, animal law groups, where every person on the group has just one thing in common, that they care about animals and they care about strays. Excuse me. And they believe in rescuing animals in distress. So that is a community. If you are taking a walk along with a couple of your neighbors, you are a community, that you people who go out together in the evening. So it doesn't necessarily have to be on WhatsApp. It doesn't necessarily have to be on Facebook. It just is, it's like a cloud, that there is a community that you're a part of. So that's exactly what a community is. But why does a brand need it? The question is, why do I, as a brand, need a community? So, the way to look at that is, number one is to identify what you are trying to achieve. Now, I've listed down the things that you actually achieve from a community. There is word of mouth, because when there is something in common, very honestly, if there is a friend of mine who also likes to rescue animals, I'm going to basically add them to that group where there are rescuers, right? So, one is word of mouth. amongst the right people, amongst your TG. The second is loyalty. When you have a community and when you've done a good job of retaining them, these people will be loyal with you. All of these pointers I'm going to flesh out with examples also in the following slides, giving you an overview right now. Then there is traffic and engagement on your platform. When you have a community, you have loyalists who are coming to your platform. So, of course, traffic and engagement is definitely something that your community is going to achieve for you. User generated content. User generated content is on the rise, and there is nothing more powerful than user generated content. If you would look at regular brands also nowadays, instead of making ads with models, what they're doing is they're getting reviews from people who are using their product. Right? That is more impactful. A person who's actually used the product and is not a celebrity or has not been paid to write about your product, that clearly shows that your product is good. Which is why whenever you go shop on Amazon, what do? The first thing you see is if you're trying a new product is that you go and look at reviews. So UGC is a very, very important tool now, and it is going to get even more so eventually. With AI on the rise, eventually people will realize that this is all artificial. It's ultimately real people whose opinion matters, right? And the final thing is that you earn through the community. Now, I, on my business, have applied all of these pointers. When I talk of my business, I do my work with considering all of these pointers. However, for any brand or for anyone, it could either be a few of the above. For example, I want word of mouth and loyalty, right? Or it could be all of the above. Or it could be just one of the above that I want UGC. That's it. So let's understand this and flesh this out via a few examples. Mackley India. Okay, this was the first one of the first few brands that I was working with. I've in fact listed out the examples of the first few brands that I worked with as a consultant during my pregnancy. Now, Mackley is a kids and women's leisure wear brand where their focus when they came to me was that they want off platform UGC and word of mouth through parent influencers. What does off platform UGC mean? Off platform UGC basically means not on my platform. I am a website or I am someone who's selling through Amazon or Mintra. So, no, I don't want any UGC on Mintra about my products. I want people on their Instagram to make content about me and I want their followers to take notice of me. And I want multiple people to do the talking. So, if you would look at what we have here, these are the examples of the content that we got them to create. We reached out to micro influencers, moms on IG, even dads for that matter, and we got them to wear the Mackley clothes and then also their children to wear the Mackley clothes, and then they created content around it. The second example is Windmill Live. Mackley and Windmill I was working with together. Windmill first converted for me and then Mackley followed. So Windmill is a different type of platform. It's a recommendations platform for parents and children that focuses on getting regular parents to post both on and off platform. Windmill is a recommendations platform. What that means is if you go on the Windmill platform, you will find recommendations of brands for children and parents. They found great brands and they published about these brands and they wanted a community to also put their recommendations on the platform. So it was very simple. I will go, this is on platform UGC, that on my website, on my platform, or on my app, I want people to post. So here, if you would look at the kind of content we have, there is this one mom, Neha, who's talked about Amma Tells Me book series, which is great story books for children, which have like very good moral endings, value additions. Then there is nutrition drink. You have Pediasure, which is a drink for kids. There's Pseudo Cream, which is a diaper rash cream for babies. So this is very simple. Parents, please come and tell us about the brands that suit you the most. So this was UGC on platform. However, whenever someone's posting on a certain platform, right? The idea with which people run and work nowadays is they want people to follow them. I'm posting here, so I want you to follow me here, which is why while these women would post on platform on Windmill, they would also go and do stories on their social media that, hey, I'm posting here, delighted to be part of the Windmill community, right? Have a look for our reviews for the baby toddler products here, right? So people then automatically went off platform as well, and this obviously generated traffic and engagement for Windmill. So this is what women did off platform. Then let's talk about the kind of people on the windmill community. We had people of varying audiences. While here we've listed out people with 6,000 followers, 20,000 followers. There's also women who had 80,000 followers on the windmill community. There were some who were not influencers at all. They were regular women like me who had presence on Instagram, but I say they were not influencers. As long as they're a mother, they are suitable for the windmill platform. However, if you see the follower ranges, for a brand like Windmill that's not very popular, wasn't very popular back then, to have this kind of presence that there are so many women, 30 women every month posting about them with this range of followers automatically creates very quick recall for them. So this is what the Windmill community looked like. Now let's move away from parents into another recommendations platform that worked across categories, which was Little Black Book. Now, Little Black Book was a discovery platform that finds great recommendations across categories and tells about the best products, places, services, or people in the city. So, product, say what I mean is that a platform which will say, hey, I found this particular book which is very handy. It's like a notepad. It is from XYZ brand and I carry it everywhere. So that's also on LBB. Places, meaning I found a very artsy, Pinteresty cafe in the middle of Champa Gali in Delhi. This is what it looks like. You can spend the day reading here. That's a place. Service would be I found this particular brand that comes to my house and grooms my pet. So that is your services. And persons would be I found this woman in XYZ market who makes the best ittars and perfumes. So that's people. So this was what LBB curated. That's what LBB would do. Our content team, what they would do on a daily basis is they'll be out in the city finding great places, and then they are reporting about it. Now they wanted a community as well, obviously, because now the world is is big. There's so much to discover. So they wanted a community also to do this. That whatever you found, whatever school, please post about it on LBB. Now they wish to build a community of insiders who would discover great things to do in the city and post about them on the app. This is exactly when they hired me, that they'd just come out with the UGC feature on the app and they wanted someone to lead their community. Now, the kind of people whom we had in the LBB community, if you look at these screenshots here, there's Cher Bear. Her name is Karishma Govil. She has some 2,500 followers. If you look at her, there's not a lot you can see, but if you look at the little snippet that you have of her Instagram, the kind of content she has, she's got very beautiful modern content, like going to the Run of Kutch for a camping festival, or a chocolate tart, which is like no other, which is made from Nutella. There'll be travel stories. The second person's Tikhi Mirchi. Her name is Radhika. She's got 150K plus followers. Her content, if you would see whatever you can see here, is completely about street food. And she's called also Tikhi Mirchi. Right? Entirely about street food. So there's going to be chole bhature, there's going to be chole kulche, there's going to be naan, there's going to be parathas, all of that. The third one, if you would look at, is Anuradha. Her brand name is Anuraya Kapoor. She is an interior stylist with some 65K followers, and her content is primarily about decor because she's an interior stylist, an interior decorator. So she is going to talk about artifacts that she's bought from abroad, great brands that sell the most unique products for your home, stationery, notepads, really cool, all things cute. That's what Anuradha does. So all three of them have very different personas, but all three of them are suitable for LBB because they come with a lot of knowledge in their genre. So that's how it worked for LBB. Here's what their profiles look like on LBB. We have Karishma Govil. While she has just 2,000 followers out there, she had 7,000 something followers on LBB. She's very popular on LBB. You see her profile, it looks like all things artsy, all things cute. Anuraya, you can see she's talked about stationery, she's talked about coasters, decor related products. Then Radhika Agarwal, very clearly, you can see that everything is street food. There's pizza, there's paranthas, there's sandwiches, everything that's available on the streets, great food available on the streets. So this is what their profiles look like on LBB. So the idea is that your community, when I was in the beginning, when I started, you have to take a look at your community, because a lot of times you will think that this persona works or this persona doesn't work. But eventually you'll realize there's a good possibility that all personas work. Or your idea of a persona will entirely change. And I used to think that a Karishma Govil was suitable, but maybe no. And Anuradha is more suitable. So you have to keep an active eye out on the people that you're choosing to decide what direction your community will take. Okay, now another thing to think about is what is the kind of content we want our community to create, right? That is defined by multiple aspects, and that functionality varies. For example, you could either want on-platform content. For example, Windmill or LBB, they want UGC on their platform, right? So if we are let's just say we are a discovery platform, we want people to discover great things via us. So we obviously get our community to post on our platform, right? For Windmill, for example, content is a mix of real product, people, service recommendations on platform and shout outs off platform. They do not care about demographics. Each parent is welcome to contribute, consume content. Their only criteria is that the recommendations need to be around places, products, services for children. So it's very simple. If you're a discovery platform, your community's job needs to be that they come on platform and they create UGC for you. That is the kind of content that we want from an on platform, from a discovery platform or a platform where we want people to contribute on platform. Are we a product or a bunch of products? Like a Macly. In this situation, what we need is, of course, we don't have a platform where we want people to discover. If there is something that has to happen on platform, it could be reviews from parents. But in a situation where you are a product or a bunch of products, what you require is that your community should be making noise on their platforms so that more and more people learn about your product, which is what Mackley did. That every month I want 6 people to go publish content about my brand. I'm going to send them products. They can try it out and create great content. In this situation, it is important that you have some concepts ready for content. For example, you can't have mothers and children just wearing products from Mackley and jumping around. Then in this situation, what we used to do is that we used to, because otherwise, because yeah, we've just given free products and that's posted content. Be mindful of what concept. It's a toddler mom, we would give them a concept like your bedtime routine with your toddler, right? So first eat a hearty meal, and uske baad you go and brush your teeth, apply a little bit of night cream, wear comfortable Mackley, and then off to bed after with story time, right? Similarly, the other one will be like it's a lazy weekend. What did you do? So in the lazy weekend, mom and a child decided today we are not going to have a bath. We are just going to chill in our Mackley clothes and eat junk food. The third one is that we get 5 moms together and we do a pajama party with Mackley, where we set up. Their children come together in Mackley clothing. The mothers are wearing Mackley clothing, and they're all watching Disney movies together while eating popcorn. So it's important that you have different concepts in place, and that is where your creativity should come in, because otherwise it looks unauthentic. So this is the second thing to think about when you are thinking of what kind of content should come out. If we are a service, now a service, the situation is different. Content created is of the experience that the user gets. For example, there is a restaurant called Unomas. It's a tapas restaurant based out of Goa. And they wanted creators to come to the restaurant, experience the restaurant, and then create videos about their food, about the way in which they're treated, about the kind of service they got, etc., etc. So here it is very important that these videos are able to, that their content is able to justify the service. Where there, a lot of times these have to be content pieces where the person is talking. That I went to Uno Mas. It can't be just dancing, jumping around. Is that I went to Uno Mas, here's what I loved, and look at this plate. It's so fulfilling. That's the kind of content it needs to be. So yeah, these are the 3 different criteria that we worked with and the ways in which we approach content when it comes to community. Yes, now how do you onboard members into your community? Now we've understood content, that this is what we require, this is what we need basis our brand. How do you onboard these members? So I'm breaking this down into the basic steps that I follow. I'll be fleshing all of this out further in our slides, in the further slides. But for now, just to give you an overview, and anybody who wants to take a screenshot or something, please do that. The first thing to do is set a target. A lot of times when I come across brands who are very new to the area or field of communities, the mistake that they make is that they want to get to let's build a community of 500 people in the next 3 months. That's the stupidest way to approach it. How it should be approached is set a small target, because your battle is not bringing those people in. Your battle will be retaining them. So you should start with a very reasonable number. Like my target, I stick to 30. That every month 30 new people should join the community. That's it. And you have to set a target which you are going to split across a quarter. For example, if my target is 30 per month, then that makes it 90 in a quarter, right? So I target that way, split the target month wise, and then we get started. The second, how do you reach them? How do you find them? Is this is very simple, making use of your stalking skills. All of us know how to find people on social media. There are friends, there are teachers whom we've been out of touch with for years, and we've managed to get in touch with them. The internet is a magical place. Of course, it comes with its cons, but this is one the best way to find the right community members, because when you're looking at someone's Instagram page, you're looking at how they represent themselves, and that helps you identify that whether this person is suitable to be on your community or not. What kind of language, what kind of tonality, what is the look and feel. So when I have to find a community member, let's just say in the space of food in the city Gurgaon, I'd go with the simplest hashtag, which is hashtag, and wherever I'm going, all that content I will get. When it has the right person, I'll go follow them. Instagram recommend similar profiles. So that's how I find members for my community. But I keep a very keen eye out on tonality, the brand language. Not just that they have put hashtag Gurgaon foodie so they're suitable. No. So stalking skills and an eye for personas. These two things. You have to start making very detailed sheets. Now, because you are working on something that is so dynamic, and because you're dealing with so many people, you have to be very organized from the word go, which is from the very beginning. You need to make sure that you have like a proper spreadsheet in front of you. That these are the people whom, and only add people whom you've spoken to on that sheet, right? Because you've reached out, you've asked for their contact, all of that is done. Just after your first call, when it is apparent that yes, this person is on my community, only then add them to your sheet. Meaning just put confirmed people there, because otherwise you're going to be reaching out to so many people, so it's going to become a big mess. That's what I do. If I've reached out to 25 people, let's just say 6 people or 8 people have converted, then after they've converted, I add them. Until then, I just keep notes, make notes of what they have said, are they willing, etc. Now, reach out to your selected members via SM. This is what I do via social media. But here, what you need to understand is that I get a lot of messages from random brands like, hey, your pet is very cute. Why don't we get you featured, etc. There are freebies involved. That is not the kind of messaging you should be doing as a community builder. Your messaging needs to be that you're initiating a conversation. Hi, XYZ. I am Megha. I run this community experiences platform called Brand. And I love your tonality. Do you think we can connect sometime this week? Uh, and I'd be happy to take you through this. We do quite a few fun things. Here's the page link. So your conversation needs to be that of a leader, not of a customer service executive. That is how you will be able to get the attention of the person, which they will feel that this person's put an effort in typing this message, and actually seen my profile. And always use the person's name. Never say hey, never start your message with hey there or hey, how are you? Matlab, that is what makes it look unauthentic. It's a copy pasted message. So that is what you need to bear in mind. Set time aside for calling and onboarding new members each week. This is something that we do on repeat, meaning now I am not no more handling communities, meaning no more onboarding people since I have my team to do it. But it is a part of their KRAs every day. 2 hours need to be dedicated to just onboarding good members into the community. The first call has to be impeccable. So allow, always do it yourself. before allocating another resource to handle the member. This is in the beginning. When you started out, in the first few calls, the first few days, actually the first few months, you should be doing the first call. You should be identifying your tonality and language, and then you should be allocating it to your team. That now you've understood how it has to be done, take over. And that call needs to be impeccable. You should be very confident while speaking to somebody so that they take interest in what you're doing. Why should anyone is when there's one question that brands, cut out. Let's create welcome and regular members now support we by them to
Megha, you're not audible. It's breaking. It's lagging like.
give me a second, please.
Your
Yeah,
voice is breaking. We cannot hear for quite some time.
yeah. Please give us a second. She will be back.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Yeah,
Yes, yes,
okay.
Megha.
I think the internet was acting up. Where have you lost me, guys?
From the beginning of this sheet only.
Of this sheet. Why should anyone interact with you?
Yes, yes, this one only.
Oh, okay. So yeah, this is a very common question that okay, we've reached out to people. They've taken interest, they've given us their contact. But if we are someone new and we've just started out, why would someone take interest in us? Now, how it regularly generally works is that if there is a brand that's just started out, their ideology will be, we have some budgets, let's do this, let's get 5 6 big influencers to talk about us and to create content about us, and then the regular people, whoever follow these influencers, they will start taking interest in us. Now the issue with this approach is that we are setting our foundation into paying people to talk for us instead of inspiring them to talk for us, right? Now, the way in which we do it is different. The way to tackle this is that you should go after regular, high quality members, not influencers first. Scaling the community is a function of adding more members who find value in your platform and would wish to stay rather than spiking your graph with one time influencers. Every time that you bring influencers, what you'll see is that suddenly there is a spike in the graph because reach aa gayi hai, baat ho rahi hai, but then again it'll drop. Then you will have to pay another set of influencers again to get that spike. Instead of that, it should be a very linear upward approach where let's get 30 regular people to talk about us. The reason anyone will interact with you is because they don't will not come with this whole hawa of I am an influencer. They will come with the approach that, oh, did you find me interesting? I'm so regular. Do you think you want to feature me on your platform? Oh, this sounds great. People will take interest in you. If you're going to go after influencers, the first thing they're going to ask you is how much are you going to pay me? And we already know everybody on their community, on an influencers community, knows that this guy only talks about something when they are paid. It's unauthentic. So we don't believe in it anymore. So your idea should be create influencers within your community instead of blindly paying influencers from other platforms. Um, I'll break this down with an example. But first off, I want to ask you all a question for that example. Does anybody know who Sean Kernan is? Answer can be yes, no, nobody's judging. It's fine if you don't know. That's where I'm heading to also. Anyone? Anyone? Okay, okay, got it. Is anybody active on Quora out here? N- Manisha is active on Quora? Okay, stopped now. Okay, got it. Let me show you who Sean Kernan is. This is Sean Kernan. Why I brought this example out is because I am extremely active on Quora. In fact, more than Instagram, I think I spend my time on Quora. Quora is basically a platform where people ask questions and other people respond to those questions. Very simple. It's a question answer platform, and some of their answers are fabulous. So, Sean Kernan, why you don't know him is because you guys are not very active on Quora, but he is called the son of Quora. So what happened is this guy, he is not an influencer anywhere else. He joined Quora, and Quora kept a very keen eye on their community. So he started answering people's questions, and his answers were very, very intellectual. That anybody could and understandable. So not intellectual meaning he's not giving scientific facts. He's giving really, really good answers, very contextual answers, and people were really liking his answers. So he's look at that 6K answers, 6,000 answers, and he's asked 5.6K questions. So Quora realized, oh, this guy is brilliant. We need to get him visibility. And Quora started giving him visibility. Now, a regular person within no time started getting so much visibility on Quora just because they started pushing their answers ahead that he became an influencer on Quora. Nobody knows him outside Quora. But on Quora, he is practically the leader of that community. So this is what I mean when I say that you should find the right member on your community and make him an influencer. Because at this point, what is happening is Sean Kernan is being approached by brands to talk about them on Quora. But Quora is managing his account. So Quora is going back to that brand and saying, we will decide how much you will pay him. Right? If you are not going to pay him right, we are not going to get this answer out. If your product is not good, we are not going to allow him to answer. And Quora is also making money from it, while Sean Kernan is also making money from it. So making an influencer should be your game. And influencers, by the way, this word very soon is going to lose all of its relevance. It will not matter how many followers you have on Instagram unless you have your own community members who are your heroes, because that ship has sailed. People know that everything is unauthentic. So this is an example of how you can build your community and then create your own influencers. Quora did a fabulous job of this. So in a nutshell, when you break down the community process breakdown is: number one, you identify your community members and you start small. You go after regular multiple creators or engagers. You onboard them. Regular people. Create incentives for your community members. This is the second thing. We're going to come to this, which is that once you onboard people, you should start devising strategies to retain them. Keep onboarding on the side, but make sure all of this done is systematically. Now, retention, we will get to, incentives, we will get to. Leverage communities of your existing members. If they're your people, good incentives, visibility, and good relationship building, make your regular community members bring people from their communities. All of this also I'm going to break down, meaning that instead of in the beginning, you're going to chase multiple community members to join you, then your community members should be attracting their crowd into your communities, right? And that we will break down further. We're getting to growth and retention, and how do we get our community to stay with us and build on, which is I'm now getting to how do you create, what are the incentives that will make your community members stick around. So we've identified our member, onboarded them. Now what? Here's an example. I want you all to either chat, put this in the chat box, or you can also unmute yourselves and speak. But my first question is, these two women out here, what similarities do you see in them? Anybody can answer.
A lively house.
Okay, that's correct.
Nice interior at the background.
Yes, that's perfect. Anything else?
The both wear similar colors.
Yeah.
Correct.
Hairstyle is same.
Excuse me. Yes, that's correct. Okay, I think that's good.
Both the pictures are, featuring female from different age group. One is kind of teenage or in like early 20s, and other is like 50s
Yeah.
around.
Yeah, I was just coming to that. Now let's talk about differences. Now you've just highlighted a difference. And what different other differences do you see, guys? One is you can see that there are different age groups.
Yeah, one thing is left
Traditional and
left
modern.
side, traditional. Yeah, that's what
And modern.
I say.
Traditional and modern. Fantastic. This is exactly the gist of the similarities and differences. I will tell you why I'm showing this to you. The woman on the left, her name is Anuradha Kapoor, and on the right is Mehva Shiki. So she is basically also, both of them are interior stylists. So what you've highlighted about interiors is spot on, that they're both into interiors. Both of them interior stylists. And the difference that you highlighted also spot on. Anuradha's design aesthetic is more traditional and more ethnic, I would say, not just traditional. It's not just Indian. She picks whenever she's on her travel, she's on a trip, so she'll go pick out things from Egypt, artifacts from Egypt. If she's gone to Orcha, she's going to go pick those tall buddhas, those miniatures. So she picks local things. Shiki, on the other hand, while she's an interior stylist, her aesthetics are very modern and vintage. Now, why am I showing you these pictures? Is because Anuradha and Shiki, both interior stylists, met via an event at LBB. Okay. Now they became really good friends and they met up regularly via LBB's event. So what happened is at some point, Anuradha reached out to Shiki separately. Um, One of you guys, I think, is to mute them here. Yeah. So Anuradha one time just reached out to Shiki. She met her via LBB and said, "You know what, Shiki, I do a lot of projects where while I'm great with traditional, whenever there is someone who comes to me with a request to set up their son's room or their daughter's room or a young couple's room, I end up making that too traditional and I feel like people are looking for some modernity in that front. So why don't you collaborate with me and you share that commission with me?" Similarly, Shiki reached out to Anuradha for another project which she had, where she had to set up the parents' room and she had to set up the courtyard in a traditional way. And these people who are different age groups, different aesthetics, everything different. But via LBB, there was one thing that they got, which is that they had got a collaboration opportunity because of one thing that was similar, which is they're both interior stylists, and that helps them make money. So the first great thing you will be able to achieve on your community, if you've achieved this, that's fantastic, is that via you, people will meet the right set of people and they will find ways to collaborate with each other. Now, here's another example. These two girls out here, the same process, guys. Can you explain what differences you see? We'll come to similarities post that. Anybody, please go.
Outdoor, indoor.
Outdoor, yeah.
Okay.
Nature
Close
and
up, close up and a long shot.
Travel
Okay.
location.
Hmm. And what about similarities?
Similar
Same
age.
Both
hairstyle.
are travel influencers.
Young, yeah.
Okay.
I
Anything
think
else?
one is Indian and one is overseas because like
Both of them like to click their pictures.
Okay. Do you think they're the same age group?
Yeah, similar age group.
Yes.
Okay. So
looks
I'll
like
explain
so.
the
Yeah.
second scenario here. The second scenario is that this is Karishma Govil and Tanvi. Karishma Govil is a lawyer and by profession, and she loves to travel. That's correct. That's where you said travel. She was onboarded by us and she brought her friend Tanvi, who's a mindset coach, into LBB's events, meaning that she came to me one day and said, Megha, I'm really enjoying these events. Is it possible for me to get my friend Tanvi also here? Because LBB is the same vibe as the community. I said, yes, absolutely. So, in other words, we created a cycle where our members were benefiting enough from being a part of the community to bring their friends and family on board, right? Once this happens, that people through your incentives are finding benefit and then they are bringing their community members into our community, that's when you come to a stage which I call the auto stage, where you don't have to onboard members any further. Your community runs on auto mode. And this particular stage, when we achieved at LBB, we scaled 4x in a year, which is that we went from 300 posts per month to 1,200 posts per month without any onboarding. My team and I, the only thing we did was we did fantastic events. We got the right people together. That's all. Once you done that is how you should scale. The biggest mistake business owners also make is that they try to do too many things. Whereas I believe that you do one thing, find that one thing that works for you and keep doing it consistently. That's it. You will definitely get to that scaling point. So this is has this been clear to everyone first of all? Just yes in the chat box should work. Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. Perfect. So this is how this happened. Here are pictures of the incentives. We did events left, right, and center across India. And we reached out to venues and restaurants. A lot of restaurants wanted to be featured on LBB, so they were very happy. Voice is echoing. Is it echoing for everyone?
No.
No, ma'am,
Okay.
it's good.
Okay. So this is how it happened. People came together, people of similar mindset came together, became friends. After I left LBB, so many of these people continued to be friends, as in they met aside from us as well. So this is when madness happened. That everywhere we were just like community, community, no tension at all, automatically people coming on board. However, creating for your community. Incentives can vary. For example, LBB's community comprised of outgoing people who love discovering amazing new places, products, and people. Hence, the winning factor for us was tables, which is these events, where we got them to regularly meet. Now we hosted 16 events each month across India, but for different platforms, the incentives can be different. Let's talk about, for example, Herky. Women's network. It's a community. So for key, the incentive is that we are doing these coaches where you're learning, right? So you have to be smart about what your incentive needs to be. So that once you're able to figure out, all you have to do is keep hitting on that consistently, and things will shoot for you. So in a nutshell, it's important that when you're defining an incentive, that you consider the kind of world we live in. My ideology was that we post our 60 best days out of 365 on social media. Unlike Sara Ali Khan, I love this woman for this reason that while she's okay with looking sexy on Instagram, she's also very okay with looking like the picture in the left. That her airport look is the most terrible I've seen in my life. Like she's literally out there with her coffee, her hair is all over the place. She's very comfortable doing that. But we live in a world where we are consistently trying to showcase how happy we are or how well we are doing on social media, right? Nobody's talking about, there are hardly any fired from their job or being or a breakup or a divorce, right? So the basic mentality of the world, and this is not just about social media, this is how we've been even before social media. You know, if there's something bad that happens in the family, everyone wants to keep it hush hush, but when something great happens, everyone wants to show off. In our parents and their grandparents time, we'll take a mithai ka dabba, oh हमारे घर में बच्चा हुआ है, right? But in case of something that's not right in the family, everyone's going to talk softly. So this is not a modern age problem. This is human tendency. So you'll have to, when you're defining an incentive, you'll keep on that tendency, which is what we did. What we did is we realized this tendency and we decided we'll onboard community members, get them to attend events and give them a great time. That is important. If we have given them a great time, if there is something, we've given them a reason to show off that I am a part of this community because look where I'm eating. I'm eating in this restaurant and I'm drinking expensive wine and I'm not paying for it. Someone's considered I'm worthy enough to be a part of this community. When they share this on Instagram, what happens is they are letting their friends and family know that I was doing this. Then their friends and family or whoever will either reach out to them that, hey, you know what, I also want to be a part of this. How do you do it? Or they'll directly reach out to us that, hey, you know what, I saw my friend, he's doing this. How do you be a part of your community? Once this happens, communities run on auto mode. So this is exactly how you need to think. That your incentive should be something that will make a person. A lot of brands, what they'll do is freebies de diye. Okay, when you free product, that doesn't matter. Doesn't make sense. You'd rather, let's just say and that's what we do as Fueler as well. That if there is a brand that works with organic food, like Two Brothers, what would Two Brothers normally do is they would maybe in a modern bazaar or a Lemash, they're going to showcase their products or get people to try their products, like your raw pressery and all, raw pressery nahi, sorcery and Wingreen's. There every time I've gone to any modern bazaar in India, there'll always be this one person standing with their dips. Ma'am, do you want to try? Ma'am, do you want to try? That's not how it should be, because nobody's going to remember it. वो try भी कर लेंगे free में, but nobody's going to remember it. However, how we operate is that we tell a Two Brothers or a Wingreens that we are going to call 20 people and we'll do a cookout. Everyone's going to cook with your products. They'll have a great time. They'll cook while drinking wine, and all of us will then eat together. So that experience, which is basically a 3 or 4 hour experience, which where people are actually coming together, having fun, getting their hands dirty. Then you've given them a reason to show off. And look what we did. We went to this event. We cooked. Wingreens was the sauce brand that came on, dip brand that came on board. This is all we ate. It was damn fun. Then it becomes lucrative. So that is what you have to play upon when you're defining an incentive. Okay, very important part though. All of this is nice and fun, and we're doing events and great, but how do you monetize a community? And this is a very common question. TKR, we've made a community. How am I going to earn from this? What is the way to earn from it? So I've broken this down to 4 pointers, and I'm going to take you through these pointers as well. The first is, of course, brand alliances. When you have a solid community, you can always go to a brand and say, hey, you know what, my community is really solid and their tonality and ideology matches with your brand philosophy. Why don't you pay me and I'll get my community to work for you? The second is workshops and virtual events, just exactly the way that we're doing right now. A lot of times workshops and virtual events are paid for. So I'm going to take you through how we did this in LBB as well. So that's very evident. The third is account management. This I will take you through in detail when we get to the slide, since it can get a little complicated. The fourth is, of course, paid membership, which is that if you want to be a part of the community, you'll have to pay an XYZ sum for 3 months. For example, Harley Davidson, they have a community of these rich pool playing, beer drinking CEO type of guys who have all the money in the world, and it is cool for them to be a part of the Harley community, which is why they will pay them. So that is how monetization happens from communities. Now I'm breaking all of this down via examples. The first example of brand alliances. Yeah, and I've put my first brand alliance here so that because it's memorable also. This marked my first step into alliances, which is what is making me my money now. So Limeroad had a community of scrapbookers who used to create summer-ready looks for wheat. You all know what wheat is, right? Wheat is that hair removal cream and waxing strips. They had just onboarded Shraddha Kapoor as their brand ambassador in 2016. And they reached out to us and said, you have a community of 200 women who you have a community that is tagging, that's already posting on your platform. Our women who were posting on the platform were mostly your homemakers in tier 2 cities, and they really enjoy coming on and creating. So we said, why don't you get me some summer ready looks, because their tagline at that time was get summer ready with wheat. So they created a template with us, where on that template, where there'll be Shraddha Kapoor's face, where there'll be wheat product, and on that template, we got our community members to create summer-ready looks for wheat. These women created multiple looks, and wheats, we'll give 200 Bluetooth speakers to the community members. Each member will get one Bluetooth speaker, and the top 10 looks will go to Bali with Shraddha Kapoor. So Limeroad featured against this. What happened is, of course, our community went crazy, made a lot of looks for wheat. They selected people who went to Bali with Shraddha Kapoor. What happened? And what did we get in return from Wheat is that we featured in Wheat's TVC as their style partner. And Wheat, the next lot that they launched on their packaging, also added a discount coupon for Limeroad. Now, If we were to go and get a brand like Wheat to put us on their TVC as styling partner with our logo and get our discount codes on their dabbas, which is like a thousands and thousands of boxes with LimeRoad ka coupon code, this would at that point in 2016 be a 3 lakh deal, which we were able to track for free on barter because we had a community that was willing to create books. So that is how we first, if you can call it monetizing or actually monetizing in terms of great value. So this is the first alliance. Now let's talk about the one in which we actually made money. When we were with Windmill, there was a new brand which makes quilts and soft toys and winter wear for children. Its name was We Care. Now, what happened is that a lot of my community members they were posting about WeCare, so I found that very interesting, and I reached out to WeCare. I said, "Listen, why don't you give your products to my community for this? It's already Christmas, New Year time. It's really cold. We'll get them to create content for you on social media." WeCare willingly agreed and gave us a few products, and our community members, about five of them, created content. So WeCare generated some 70,000 views from this. And then VCare came and said, "This is very interesting. Why don't you take some money from me and do this on a regular basis?" So then we started earning out of this, which is that VCare every month would get 6 or 7 people from our community to create content for them against a 50-60K monthly. So this is how community members got VCare, and community members basically got VCare hampers and visibility on both Windmill and VCare. So it was a win-win for everyone. And VCare was, of course, we were making money from that. Workshop and events. Now, this is also a great way to monetize your community. When COVID hit, the first lockdown, we were like, what do we do now? We can't get people out of their homes, and we have to, and how do we keep our community retained? So, what we decided to do is that we started picking people from within our community who were experts in certain fields. For example, the Simi Kohli, she was very good at making ramen. So we said, why don't you do a ramen making workshop? And this will be paid. Our community will come and we'll give you a 20% commission. We didn't go after famous people. We didn't go after some artist who knows how to make wax paintings. No, we went after our own community and asked them to showcase their basic skills, whatever they are an expert with. And that did multiple workshops where for a very long time we were able to sustain the COVID hit. Yeah, where people were also, our community was also making money, getting their variety, all of that was happening. Healthy dips with Ekta Sood, chalk carving workshop with Madhuri Umashankar. She was literally on a platform and she was very good with chalk carving. It was a new talent and we wanted her to showcase it. So this is a great way where workshops and events is where, virtual workshops and events is where you can make money. Account management. Okay. Now, uh, it's a little complicated, so please listen to this carefully. Account management is literally what Cora did with Sean Curry, which is that I create influencer. Is my voice breaking again?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Also, ma'am, you will be taking questions in the end. Sorry, I joined little late, so I don't know how we set the contact today.
Yes, I will be taking questions in the end. You can actually
Thank-
ask me questions even now. Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Yes, you're
Okay.
very audible.
Okay. Account management is what Sean Kernan and Cora are doing. That Cora has made an influencer on their platform. Now, Cora is managing their brand collaborations. At any brand, he went to Sean Kernan, Cora went to Sean Kernan and said, "You are my person. I have made you a celebrity. Now, I want a share of whatever it is that you are doing." Meaning, if a brand is collaborating with you, I will manage that brand, that collaboration, and I will take a 25% commission. There's no harm. I'm Sean Kernan is also very happy that, "ठीक है भाई, you've made me an influencer. You have all the right to this." So account management is that. And once you create somebody's persona, on your platform becomes popular, that person, then you start pitching that person to brands that I have this person very popular on my community, and they'll be interested in doing some work for you. They'll be interested in doing a post for you or doing a session for you. And this is the XYZ amount that we will charge. This includes the money that I'm going to pay to my person. Similarly, when we do events, for example, how do you identify member skills? By meeting them regularly. So when we meet the community, that's why it's a very personal game, which is what I encourage my team also to do. Every time that we are on an event, we try to learn about our community. What do they do? It's a very, very personal thing. It's not like, hey, we are all together here. There is a proper time that we allocate to each member. We sit with them, chat with them. I am interested in this. What do you do? Hey, is this something that you also teach? What are the sessions that you do? That is how, by interacting with them, that's how we identify their skills. Yeah, and sorry, getting back to what I was saying. Even now, what we do is, for example, if a brand comes and tells us, yeah, your community has made some very good content and I want to use it on my page. So we tell them that if you want to use the UGC on your page for ads, you will have to pay the person. So the brand will be like, but why? They are your community. Can't you just get it for free? Then we say, no, we will not. We will get it to you on a discount. But our community needs to be paid if you're using their content for ads. So this way we are establishing faith with our community. However, the better side of this is that while our community member, if they are doing this alag say with the brand, they'll charge somewhere around 5,000-6,000 for ad rights. But when they go through us, they do it at up 1.5 to 2K because they know that we are going to regularly bring them work. And the brand also finds that interesting because via us, they're getting a much cheaper deal. So this is account management, that I have made you an influencer, I have made you popular, I have made you visible to the brand. So I'm also going to make money from this. That's how it works, right? So that is account management. Has everyone understood this? Okay. Okay. Now, want to build communities for other businesses? How do you do this? Number one is, how do you find your client? This I have done, and I have seen failure, success, everything. So it's very comprehensive. Number one is, how do you find your clients? First and foremost, you have to make a list of brands that suit your expertise. For example, my expertise, when I was sitting down and making a list of the brands I wanted to reach out to, I was thinking more on my core skills, that I cannot reach out to someone, a brand that works with technology, because I don't understand technology. I cannot reach out to a brand that works with automobiles because I don't understand vehicles. I cannot reach out to a brand, let's say, for example, that works with finance, because that's not my core skill. However, um, pets, parents and children, um, beverages, food, those things I understand very well and I have worked with. So the first thing that you have to do is you got to list out your core skills and according to it choose which brands you want to work with, because as a community builder you need to come with a lot of knowledge in that genre. Otherwise you will not be able to attract the right people. Approach people directly on LinkedIn. I'm going to change this point very soon. This doesn't work anymore. Um, I used to do this in the past, but now it doesn't work. LinkedIn's become just another platform where you people are ghosting you, not talking, not responding, very, very casual. So now the way in which I do this is that there are multiple other platforms where you can directly reach out to brands. For example, there's this platform called Sales IQ, and then there's Signal Hire. These platforms on the for the uh, decision. I directly call them. There's cold calling. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know what's up with my internet. I'm sorry. Can you hear me now? 1 second.
Can you just repeat the previous points because your voice was breaking in?
Yeah. Which one was not heard?
Yeah, we
Platform
couldn't
names.
hear.
Not clear yet.
You were
Is it
saying
clear now?
something like sales IQ, and
Can you hear me
that's
now?
where we lost you. Yeah, now we can hear you.
Yeah. So the platforms that I rely on now are platforms like Lucia, Sales IQ, and Signal Hire. These are the platforms that I can directly approach And out of where we get contacts of founders and decision makers, key decision makers in businesses, and then I directly cold call them. I call them up, introduce the brand, let them know what we do, and then get them interested. And that's how our and that's how our conversation then proceeds. So that's one upskill.
Can you please
My
share
last,
the websites again, which you just mentioned? Where you
Lucia Sales IQ Signal Hire. Yeah. Next is upskill. Always keep an eye open on what other communities are doing and learn and offer. Now, the fact that I've just told you that LinkedIn doesn't work anymore is me upskilling and letting you know that this used to work, but it doesn't work anymore. And there'll be multiple things that you will have to learn. If you're not learning from other businesses, you're not doing a good job. So I always keep my eyes open with what other people are doing when it comes to events. What can I offer that is better? So that is very important when it is about building communities for businesses. Network. If you're not someone who enjoys networking, you will not get anywhere. So, for example, if in communities, I mean, otherwise there are other things, other genres that you might do very well in, but community is networking. It's very important that you network a lot with people. I remember that I got my first two gigs because my ex-colleague from LBB had started freelancing about a year before me, and she told me, and you know what, I have these two brands. They would love to take a community approach as well. She connected me there. Hockey. I started. I think the first time I connected with Hockey and Neha was 2 years ago. And in the last 2 years, we have done multiple things together. Like I've been hosting these sessions as well as I'm also doing my next event is actually Herky's event on the 25th, which is called Power Up. So your networks are what your older clients will keep coming back. Your via your clients, you'll find other clients. That's how it works. So networking is super important. Set a realistic number of brands to work with. Now, this is one mistake that I've made, that I've taken too much on my plate and realized I've taken more than I can chew on my plate. So don't go after I want to do a lot of work. Just go after the quality of your work. After some time freelancing or running your own thing, you'll find older clients coming back with new projects. Like I said, with Herky, for example. Then there is this brand called Azar that worked with me for 6 months for communities, then came back for an event. There are multiple such brands. So the Health Factory, which has worked with us on 4 events already. Two Brother Organic Farms is coming back for another event. Farm Art is doing a 4 event deal. So your older clients will keep coming back. So be consistent, keep working, stay in the limelight. And every once in a while, bring more to the table than offered. This is what we always do. We promise less and deliver more. So it's a rule that I'll always say that you will get a reach of 2.5K views. 250K views via our platform if you work with us. But we always internally we aim for a for lakh. So that's how you should work. That you should under deliver, under promise, over deliver. That way, your client will also know that these people always outperform and they will keep coming back to you. Excuse me. So if you're up for building a community for your brand, always approach with the needs and the requirements of your members first. You'll have to identify what is it that your community members want, right? Alliances, influencers, and money will follow. That's about it. And now it's time for questions. Anybody, please can start whatever questions you have, guys.
So I go first, ma'am. I'm Alka, and we have recently started a new health based business. So we have healthy alternate for sugar, and we have also come up with a new, an alternative for Bonvita. So I have joined. So currently, I helped in the development of the product. Now I am managing the Instagram page for this. So how this workshop, I understood some things, but I don't know how to execute it. So if you can help me, like how I can go ahead, and I
Okay.
hope you understand.
Yeah. So, Alka, do you know about Slurp Farm?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so actually, that is all. Slurp Farm's example is also on my session. I think the next one, the one that we're doing tomorrow. But
Okay.
I'll still give you a little bit of an idea. Slurp Farm, when they started, what they did is that they identified multiple regular people and gave them their products, parents, right? They gave them hampers and said that, yeah, why don't you try my product out and please post about it on Instagram if you like it, right? They gave them a content ideation. Their hampers were also like some around 2,500 to 3,000 rupee worth. They worked with so many mothers that every month they were getting 30 mothers to talk, create content for Slurp Farm. That out of suddenly, anybody who's a mother knew Slurp Farm. This is the great new product which is making noodles healthy, right? And eventually they came to a point, Slurp Farm, where their brand ambassador was she not only
Your voice is
she
breaking,
also
ma'am. Sorry, I missed you. They gave hampers to the mothers, and then they were getting contents, and then I lost you.
they can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah. So they brought Anushka Sharma as their brand ambassador eventually, right? Because Anushka Sharma also noticed that every other mother is talking about Surf Farm, right? And isme they've not invested any money. They have only given products to mothers and have managed to get the attention of a big Bollywood celebrity who's not only come on board as a brand ambassador, she came on board as an investor, right? Something very similar happened with Wicked Good. Wicked Good also started doing a lot of community marketing. And then Shilpa Shetty came on board, not only as their brand ambassador, but also as their investor, right? So when it comes to products like this that are focused on children's health or are great substitutes to sugar, because I work with a lot of brands that work in the area of mindful eating or
Mhm.
organic food, right?
Mhm.
Their brand tonality should be based on community. That is what they should be doing. Find the people who will want, who I'm solving something for. And healthy substitutes for sugar, anybody who has a child, right, or
Mhm.
anyone who is health conscious. Now
Mhm.
is that era where people are giving up on sugar. So this is a very powerful brand value proposition anyway. So
Mhm.
the approach should be that you go on Instagram, whichever city it is that you're active on, find the right people there, get them first sample your products to them, to let them create content. Then the second thing should be you should do an experience because communities should never be just run virtually. There you need to sit down face to face with these people. You need to do something. For example, do a cookout maybe. If you have healthy sweeteners, then why don't you get do a dessert series where everything is made with these sweeteners along with people. That's what I would do if I were to pitch an experience to you, right? That I'll get a chef and we'll make healthy desserts from your sweetener. That way, people will remember your brand. But these things need to be done very consistently, meaning every quarter you should be doing one experience and you should be sampling your products to at least 20 people every month and getting content from them. That is the way to go when it comes to communities for a brand with this value proposition.
And so finding those communities will have to go through somebody, I don't know, without experience, how can we as a build it in the.
There is nobody right now, Alka, who comes with actually community building is not something that you qualify in.
Hmm.
Community building is a people skill,
Hmm.
right? Any person who's working on my team right now, aside from me, I am one of those few people who have stuck to communities since the beginning. So that is why this 12 plus years of experience because I took that chance with my career. That I
Hmm.
want to stick with communities. It is working wonders for me now because I'm one of the few people who've done so much work in communities. But on my team, my biggest challenge is I can never find people who come with experience in communities. The person who's on my team right now, who's managing my communities, has always worked in content. She doesn't come with experience in communities. It
Hmm.
is not a very difficult task, honestly. Communities manage karna.
Hmm.
Anybody who comes with an enterprising people skill thought process can do it. All they have to do is they should know how to look at Instagram. Any girl, any boy between 20 to what 20 kya now to 16 to 40, anyone knows how to scout on Instagram. It is not something that's difficult. Looking at profiles, finding profiles, and identifying whether their tonality matches. And in your case, it's very simple. It doesn't even matter if that person is tonality wise what, that they have to be a parent, right? Usme to mining people is very easy. There's no complication there.
Okay. Thank you so much. Very
Yeah,
insightful. I might be connecting you offline then to learn more.
yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Yeah. Anybody else with any questions? So many people here, guys. Come on. I'm sure there are questions. How can there not be? No? No questions?
Ma'am, I want to start a business like art cave uh, with some stuff like workshops, painting, like mandala art and all that stuff, ma'am. So,
Hmm.
how to initiate my business? I have so many thoughts, but I can't take step to start a business.
Here, my suggestion to you will be that just start somewhere. Okay. Now, never wanted to be a business owner. I never wanted to be an entrepreneur. I used to not even think in those lines. My parents were both in the army. I was brought up with a very simple mentality that I should be working and I should be making money, good money from my work. I should be good at my job. Yeah. The reason that I have had to start a business is because when I was pregnant, when I started freelancing, I was like, okay, इससे पैसा आ रहा है और इतना मेरा experience हो गया. I have enough experience that, a brand will listen to me and pay me. However, I was forced to start my business because number one, the way in which mothers are treated when it comes to jobs, right? It's terrible. I was offered a job in a very reputed brand. I don't want to name it. And my daughter was barely 4 months old then, but their expectation was that I should be in the office even on a Saturday. And my husband is in the merchant navy. I gave them this entire breakdown. My husband is in the merchant navy. I am working at the capacity of a single mom half the year, 6 months of the year, and we don't live with parents. So I will not be able to sit in your office till 8 every day. I will need those leverages. I will need those leeways, but that was not considered. That is when I decided that, and when I got pregnant and told that to my office, I was refused maternity. They said, you come back, but these 6 months that you will be off, we won't be able to pay you because we're a startup. All of this led me to actually decide that I have to put my foot firmly on the ground and not go back to working under someone. I will have to start a business. And it has taken me 3 years. So I started freelancing in 2021, and now is when I have managed to establish it. So it's taken me 3 years to consistently work, make mistakes, and then learn from my mistakes and then correct them to get here. So the point is that if you want to start a business, you've got to start somewhere and then learn along the way. It is never a clean chit that yeah, this is the business model and ab jaise aap shuru karoge ye chal jayega. No, you should be ready that you're going to be making mistakes. You've got to be mentally strong to not stay on the ground. You'll have to peel yourself up on your feet and then keep going. So if your mentality is that you want to be an entrepreneur, start somewhere. That is what I would suggest.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. Is there anybody else? Someone's raised their hand. Yes, please go, Shazam. Or Manju, any one of you guys. Two people have raised their hands, I think.
Ladies, if you have any questions, please do write it on chat at least
Yeah.
in 5 minutes time.
Anyway, I think we are scheduling towards the end. It's still 12:30 if I'm not wrong.
Yes, Megha.
Okay. Okay, I think it's pretty evident and clear to all.
Okay, Megha. Maybe there's no questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in case you guys have any questions, you can route them to me via these guys, via Herky, and I'll be happy to answer later.
Yes, sure. And shall I share your
So
LinkedIn?
one sec, I think there are 2-3 questions that suddenly come in. 1 second. Uh, is community engagement like other platforms like in Insta? And yes, okay. Is community engagement like other platforms like in Instagram is not a community platform. It is a social media platform where people have their own communities. I am an influencer on Instagram. I have a community. So technically, the influencer is who has a community, not Instagram, right? So community building is basically like the work that that influencer is doing in order to build its community. So yes, and communities, like I said in the beginning, do not have to be on platform or on a website. If you have anything, if you've heard of brands like Avon or Tupperware, do you remember Tupperware? How they built their community was literally that they went to stay-at-home moms and told them that why don't you advocate our products to your friends and family, and whenever you are making a sale, we'll give you money. So their community was not on any platform. They just did a very good job of managing their people. So it does not have to be a platform. It can be anywhere. As long as you can handle people and you can manage them well, you can build a community. I hope that answers your question. Okay, awesome. Okay, guys, I think that's about it.
Yeah, Megha. So how to identify correct social media platforms for your brand or for marketing the products?
See, like I said in the beginning, right? You can be on platform or off platform. If you are a recommendations platform, or for example, just let's say Herky. If that's a platform where you can go and post sessions, the community can go and post content on the platform, right? So you have to decide if it's a, but there are also professional platforms that work entirely on LinkedIn. So depending on your category. Now, in my case, I work more with food, beverage, alcohol, venues, places, etc., which is why my community is mostly on Instagram. It is your niche or cooler audience, right? For certain platforms, like if there is a platform that is working with home chefs, their community is Facebook, because our parents are more active on Facebook than anywhere else. So, and that is the age group that they are targeting. So you have to look at your category and your age group and your demographics to understand which platform is suitable for you.
Okay, okay. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. Okay, I think we are through. That's about it. Thank you so much for joining, guys. All yours, Team Haki.
Yes, Megha, thank you so much.
Thank
The
you.
wonderful insight for our candidates. And ladies, please stay here. Megha, if you want, you can. Yeah,
Okay, awesome. Thank
I'll
you so
give
much.
them the Hockey
Yeah,
Potter.
thank you, Megha and Harkit.
Welcome.
Thank
Yeah.
you, Megha. Ladies, please stay here. Don't log out. Okay, I'll need you to go through walkthrough of your Hockey Portal. I hope everyone has joined your Win Knowledge Connect group, right?
Yes. I
Is
did.
anyone facing any issues?
No.
Okay.
Ma'am, can you be a bit loud? I could not hear you. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. I hope everyone joined Hockey Portal, right?
Ma'am, we've joined. Yes, yes.
Yes, thank you. And let me share my screen once. Is this visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you. And this is a Hockey Portal. Okay. This is the home page of our Hockey Portal. So here you can find out like your group is on like Win Knowledge Connect group. Okay, but we'll share you all the details in WhatsApp group as well, and all the links, whatever the assignments we are giving to you, everyone will be on WhatsApp group as well and portal also. Okay, please go to your portal platform, Herky Portal platform and WhatsApp group also. If any changes in timings or anything, we'll let you know before only. And this is the, I'm sorry. And this is Win Knowledge Connect group. This is the group. This is about, okay. These are the members who has joined already in this group. Okay. It's a part of this Win Knowledge Connect group, cohort 7. Your cohort number is 7. Got it?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. And this is a post
Where
tab.
is this Win Knowledge Connect group? Means how do we go? It is on homepage.
No, it is not on homepage. Like I have shared one link on WhatsApp group. Are you there?
I am on WhatsApp, ma'am. The group that you've created.
Okay. May I know your name?
Nisha.
Nisha, you have joined. I think so. Like I have shared one link. Check your WhatsApp group. I have shared 2 links to join Herky portal and also Win Knowledge Connect group. Please join and send me the request. I'll approve that. Then you will get this group. You can enter.
Okay. It is there. You sent me on.
WhatsApp.
Ma'am, that group I've joined. After joining this group, I came to this community when Knowledge Connect. Okay,
Yeah,
I have not joined, so now I have joined.
Nisha Rungata, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, you are there. See your name.
Okay.
Okay, you are there. You will find your assignments, everything in post tab.
Okay,
Okay,
ma'am, I wanted to understand the slides that she's discussed. Will we get those slides, or will it be like there'll be no slides for us to
No,
recap
there will
on what
be
it
no slides, dear. It's all on live session, right?
No, but
So
ma'am, just to recap, because slides in one go, you cannot,
yes,
assimilate
like
everything.
I can understand that,
Can,
but you have to
can
take
we
your
get
screenshot or
recording?
anything there.
Can we get recording of the session at least?
Recording, it's a live session.
It may
See,
help.
recording, well, please understand, these are all live sessions. If in case anyone has like missed out the session in any emergency case or anything, if you informed before, we'll let you know. Like we'll provide you 1 or 2 sessions for the program.
Okay.
Okay, so not every session we can't provide you. Okay, please try to join. If any case, if you are not joining, I will help out you with that. Okay.
Ma'am, sometimes it happens that, because of some connectivity issue, or if there is a,
Yes. Today you have missed
breakout,
a few lines for like that, right?
so many things we could not like assimilate because we were breaking down
Each-
because of the
Yes.
connectivity. Then, if we don't get the slides also, then it becomes very difficult for us to,
Yes. I understood.
take
Understood.
everything.
We'll help out you regarding this. I'll let you know. Okay. I'll get back to you regarding this.
Okay,
Understood
ma'am.
what you're telling. If anything, if assignments will be also there, right? So
Yes, ma'am. We won't be
I'm
able
not
to
able to
do
find
it.
my
who?
Alka,
Alka, what you are not finding?
the assignment play page. I'm not able to get in there only.
Win Knowledge Connect group. Not assignment have not posted yet. Okay.
I'm not able to find the Win Knowledge group also.
Have you joined? See, I will check.
I've joined both the links which you shared.
You'll refresh your page, ma. See, you are there, Alka Tayal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you refresh your page and check later, okay?
Where should I go? Matlab, which tab you are in?
I
Groups.
mean, see, you can't see.
Yeah. Got it.
Yeah, got it. This
Yes.
is a post tag. Let me complete the things. Whatever the queries, you can ask me later, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, and this is a post tab. You can find your schedule here. Okay, what the program schedule. We'll schedule this on WhatsApp group as well. Okay, please plan accordingly with these sessions, like how we have planned. What are the blank boxes are there, right? There will be no session on that days. This is the 3-week program, weekly 3 sessions.
Okay.
Okay, try to join live sessions only.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, tell me.
Later. Yeah.
Yes.
So you have given the session topics, but led by whom it is not given. Like session will be conducted by whom. It is
We'll
possible.
inform you on the particular day only. We'll introduce the coach and we'll tell you the name and all. Don't worry about that. Okay, that's the topic.
So
Send the topic and the date, time.
okay. Okay, fine.
Okay, dear.
Okay.
We'll let you know about the coach. We'll share you the LinkedIn profile of that coaches, everything. We'll let you know on the particular day only.
Yeah.
Okay. And these are the sessions aligned for your program. 1 minute, I'll refresh the page. Okay, this is a community identification. Today we have finished. Tomorrow you are having community moderation and discussion, and continuation 3 days, 3 sessions. You are having community engagement here. Okay, got it?
I am connected, but I cannot see where they are. Okay, no problem.
Refresh your
Go
page.
to groups.
Yeah, go to groups, dear. This tab, the left side you are having group tab. Click on that, view all, and search for Win Knowledge Connect group. You will get all details there.
Win knowledge group.
And assignment where we have to submit?
In
Like,
post
is there
tab
a
or
submission?
it's a Google form, like a view for Google form. You can submit there directly.
So you will be sharing all the details
Yes,
how to
yes.
submit that.
If any assignment is there for this sessions means I will update you. I will post assignment on portal, and as well I will share you that link on WhatsApp group as well. Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
It's a
okay.
Google form thing. You can submit there. That's it. Okay. And you can, if you want to join any other programs on Herky portal, this is the home page. Like click on view all, you will get the sessions. Okay. Sessions aligned for the Herky portal. If you are interested for any other sessions also, you can click on interest button. Then you will get an automatic mail, Gmeet link to your mail ID. To your registered mail ID on Herky portal. Got it?
Okay. Thank you so much.
Not only Win program, like not only Win, this is your official Win batch. Okay, if you are interested to join any other online sessions or anything, go to the homepage and search for your relatable sessions there, which is connecting by Hockey. Okay, if you have any queries, you can reach out Swati, Varsha, and me. Our 3 numbers are there in WhatsApp group as admins. You can see our number and you can reach out us for any query. Okay. And the only thing we are asking, don't miss out the sessions, dear. Live sessions are very important. Like while you're doing, you can ask queries, everything. If you need it, we'll share you. But please do join all live sessions. Don't miss any session. It's a 3-week program only. Any queries, ladies?